Hi, I'm Rachel King. Welcome to my channel. It's first thing in the morning. I'm at the station, as you can see. I'm heading into London today, so I wanted to visit Liberty, and I'm going to take you with me. 2025 sees an amazing anniversary for Liberty, and also they have just brought out their Spring Summer 25 range, which is in store, so I'm desperate to see it, and I'm sure you would like to too. So let's go.
I couldn't record a video about Liberty, especially during its 150th anniversary, without talking about the building. This video is in about 3 sections, so if you want to skip forward and meet me on the 3rd floor to see the fabrics, go to this point. If you want to skip forward again and meet me in my studio to talk about the fabrics in more detail, go to this point. Anyway, I will continue. So when you think of Liberty, you probably think of this beautiful mock Tudor building with all its absolutely amazing detailing that you can see here. But actually, Liberty started back in 1875 on Regent Street in more than one premises, I believe. Now, this premises on Regent Street, which is virtually next to the Marlborough Street Tudor building, was the last premises it was in on Regent Street, and you can actually still see traces of the lettering. And I used to go there with my mum when I was young, so I can remember it. Anyway, the Tudor building opened in 1924, and at the time, the whole mock Tudor thing was incredibly popular, with its references to the arts and crafts movement, and its sort of focus on craftsmanship. So I just did a quick scoot around the building. I had a look at the current window display on Great Marlborough Street, which uses the I think these are prints from the Spring Summer 25 collection, which we're going to go into more detail on this much later. Some beautiful women's wear. I love the coloration. Oh, it's just stunning, isn't it? Some of their lovely Liberty bags from their bag range, more prints here, and of course the florist, which has pride of place, Wild at Heart they're called, around the what I call the sort of main entrance. And here you can see some of the exquisite workmanship and craftsmanship of the wood carving that is on the exterior of the building. In fact, it was made from, this is kind of the ultimate in recycling, old ships that were made from New Forest oaks. And here there's some carving that sits around the 3rd floor atrium, one of 3 atriums that they have. Suitably quirky for Liberty. I think this owl is my absolute favourite. Yeah, it's stunning. I mean, I think these atriums were designed to have, well, the departments all sort of sit around the atriums and offshoot into sort of different rooms, and there are even fireplaces in some parts of the building. This is in the back staircase, and it is apparently the longest chandelier in Europe, which I can believe because it goes from the ceiling to right down to the ground floor. Haberdashery. I couldn't miss out the haberdashery department. I always go in there before I look at the fabrics to see their beautiful selection, the buttons, and they had a nice small range of indie patterns in there as well that you can see here. Quirky patches. Really like the way they display them on the back of this denim jacket. It just looks great, doesn't it? Really lovely little range there. And also they have a nice range of kits. They've got tapestry kits, some sort of classic ones, but some less conventional ones, which are portraits of people. You can see them there on the walls. It's their beautiful range of sewing accessories. I've still got goals to get one of their sewing boxes or baskets, but I can't decide which one, so I still haven't bought one. And then you've got their quilting cottons and fat quarters. So I took a quick walk around the fabric department to give you a feel of what it looks like in there at the moment. So I'm just going to talk a bit about their Spring Summer 25 collection. And obviously it's quite significant because it's their 150th year anniversary. I'm going to quote a few sentences from their website, and I'll put a link to this in the description so you can have a look at it yourself. For Spring Summer 25, you're cordially invited to join Liberty Fabrics as we raise the curtain on Retold 150-year anniversary theatrical spectacular. And what they've done is they've treated it as a play, and they've divided it into 4 acts. So you've got the stage, the cast, the audience, and the next act. And I quote, "Crafted from 2 timber ships, the Liberty flagship forms the perfect stage to welcome this play's cast of influential characters who have paved the way for an array of artistic movements." So it's basically treating the Tudor building as the stage, I guess, and it's saying Liberty's customers are our most inspiring muse. Whoever steps through the elaborate facade is taken on an extraordinary journey of magic, mystery and charm, which is kind of true because I always find Liberty very inspiring whenever I go there. Anyway, I'm going to choose my most favourite prints from the range to go through with you now. So this is the collection, Spring Summer 25 Retold, on the Liberty website. It's quite a large collection. It's 347 listings, and it's over 5 different fabric bases. 100% cotton tonalon, of course, 100% cotton poplin, and then they've got 3 silk bases: crepe de chine, silk satin, and silk twill. I'll scroll down. It's got a huge variety within the collection. You've got this beautiful sort of traditional archive patchwork print, oversized flowers. Then you've got these sort of modernist prints as well. I'm guessing that they would have looked at the absolutely enormous Liberty archive when they were developing these prints. Beautiful paisleys, modernist conversational prints, again large scale florals, a variation of Thorpe called Lord Thorpe, and these sort of linear stripes, simplistic pop art style flowers, abstract art. It's a really varied collection. It's really, I think, really interesting. Love the futuristic floral. So because it's so enormous, what I have done is I've chosen my 4 favourites, and I'm going to look at them individually in a minute. So I'll tell you why I like them, and I'll talk a bit about them, but it would be really good if maybe you can tell me which ones that are your particular favourites. I didn't buy any fabric yesterday in the store. I couldn't really make my mind up. It wasn't, I mean, when you're buying Liberty fabric, it's not something you want to rush into because it's obviously it's not cheap. It's quite expensive, but it's a beautiful fabric. It's expensive for a reason. So I'm considering my options at the moment, and I'm not sure. It'll probably be one of the 4 that I've chosen that I'll show you now. These are my 4 favourites from the collection, and because they've called it it's like a theatrical production, and they've got it in they've got four acts, so stage, cast, audience, the next act. So I've chosen a print for each section, if that makes sense. And there are just, I could go on and on choosing prints from this collection, but I would go on, and it would probably be too much. So okay, the first one is this beautiful archive patchwork, and it's actually got, I'm looking at it on screen here, it's got 57 designs within it, and they've produced it in a couple of colourways.
beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It's got everything in it. It's got traditional paisleys, it's got some geometrics, and their sort of signature florals they're sort of all in there. Absolutely beautiful. And Liberty prints are sort of synonymous with patchworking, aren't they? So that's kind of why I chose it. Yeah, so archive patchwork, which is from the stage act of their collection. Okay, moving on to, I'm going to get it up on screen, Madeleine. I think this is beautiful. I think this is so pretty. And I've got some notes here because I can't remember everything. And this is named after Madeleine Lawrence, a gifted artist who worked for the Silver Studio during the 1930s. So you've got wild anemone clusters, which feature quite strongly in the print, and this is part of the cast section. This is the second act, as it were, and it I don't know, I would call that quite a typical. I mean, it's not a ditzy, it's not a small scale print, but it's quite a typical Liberty print, quite sort of vintage looking, and just very, very pretty. So that's Madeleine. That was my second choice. Okay. Moving on to, let me get it up on my screen. This next one is called Arundel, and this is for the audience section. And apparently this has been worn by Florence Welsh, her of Florence and the Machine. And this is the description from Liberty. This psychedelic tinged botanical fern was originally printed for Liberty in 1963 during the hippie influenced paisley resurgence of the 60s and 70s, and they've done it different colourways. I like it with this sort of chocolatey brown ground colour. I think it's fab. So that is quite a strong contender for a print that I might actually buy from them actually. So the audience sort of section, you know, it celebrates the sort of Liberty shopper from sort of Oscar Wilde to the artists, writers, rock stars, and all sorts of people who flocked to the store forever. Our discerning audience is one of Liberty's most inspiring muses for 2025. That's what they're saying. Okay, and last but not least, okay, this is from the section which they called the next act, which I suppose is the future, and this is suitably futuristic, and it's called Glitch. And this, I'm going to read this, celebrates the ephemeral moment when technology momentarily falters in a vast abstract pattern of fragmented and distorted visuals. Which is interesting. When I get glitches, they're not that attractive. Anyway, so this print is part of the next act of Retold, where in celebration of 150 years we look to where our future waits in the wings, from digital imaginings to celebrated classics in contemporary guises. Really interesting. So you've got a nod to the past, the present and the future in that whole collection, which is probably why it's so varied and really, really interesting. So I hope you found that interesting. There's so much information on Liberty. I mean, it would be easy to do one much longer video, and I may well do that in the next couple of months, in line with the fact that it's the 150th anniversary. But I do have some books that I wanted to show you, and I may have shown them to you before, but I'm going to show them to you again because they're so interesting. I've got three beautiful books that I've had for not so long. Okay, so the first one is called The Archivists Edit, and it's all about the enormous Liberty archive, and it says that every print from this 50,000 strong collection is protected and maintained by Liberty's archivists, who've transformed it into world-class cutting-edge design resource. So that's quite some archive, isn't it, really? It's a lovely book. It's full of colour prints of some familiar, that's Hera, some familiar prints, and some prints that I had actually never seen before. Pages of like colour references, which are beautiful. I love books like this. It's just so lovely to look through. There's a photograph of the print works that they would have used. There's screens. And then there's some artwork for a paisley, which is absolutely beautiful. So that's the Archivists edit. I'll put links to these down in the description if you're interested. And then the next one is Liberty the History, Treasures from the Archives of the Luxury Department Store. Okay, this doesn't just cover fabrics, it's got furniture, covers furniture and interiors, and other items as well. It's just there's an old picture of the rug department there, one of the atriums when the store was new. Some pictures at the Tudor shop, and let's see, what have we got? Some artwork and some fashion there. It covers glassware and ceramics, so we're not just talking about textiles here. Some beautiful, beautiful ceramics in here. And then it does talk about the most popular prints at the end. And it just covers furniture design as well. So you've got a bit of everything in there. So that's really quite interesting. And then the third book, which is more of an overall book about Liberty, is Liberty Style by Martin Wood. How Liberty shaped British and international taste in glass, metalwork, furniture, ceramics, fashion and textiles, and brought together generations of great designers, which is so true, isn't it? If you go in there now and you've got world-class designers showing and selling their products in there. So this is a great book. It's got pictures of displays. I'll just try and show you a few beautiful ceramics and glassware and silverware and prints, and it really digs deep into the history. There's the man himself, Sir Arthur Lazenby Liberty, and if you go to the store, if you go in the entrance on the corner of Great Marlborough Street, is it Kingley Street, at that little sort of corner entrance, there is an actual bust. Actually, I'll put a picture here. That's him. There's a bust of him. You can see the man himself is there watching people coming and going, which I absolutely love. So yeah, this talks about the history, his background, and how the store came to be. And you know, he really left quite a legacy, didn't he, Sir Arthur Lazenby Liberty? And when you read about his original idea and his passion for the exotic and his passion for design, Liberty stayed true to, I think, his original vision. I think it's amazing to have achieved that over this long period of time. Anyway, like I say, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will be making more Liberty videos over the next few months. So in other news, I will be back with another midweek video on Wednesday. Thank you so much for all the comments to my Finding Fabrics, Choosing Fabrics video. I was really unsure about how that would be received, and you seem to like it, which is great. So I'll be doing more videos in that vein, I think. And I just also wanted to say, my favourite patterns video, I said that if you all commented and there were enough comments and there was a winner for the favourite pattern, I would make it. And the overarching winner is the puff and pencil jacket. Okay, so I've got some denim. I'm going to make it in denim. I may or may not line it. It's an unlined pattern, but I might make a lining pattern. So I've got some nice indigo denim, and I have got my
open-ended zip, which I went on a special mission to get that zip when I was in London yesterday. So I'm all ready to make that. So I should be making that in the next couple of weeks. So that will be coming up soon as well. So as always, please like, share and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed that today, and I will see you on Wednesday actually. Yes, I'll see you then. Bye.